Is your phone secretly listening to you? Many people have experienced a strange moment that feels almost supernatural. You casually mention something in a conversation, maybe a new pair of shoes, a holiday destination, or even a certain snack, and within hours, you see an ad for it on your social media feed. The feeling is so uncanny that millions of people worldwide have asked the same question. Are our smartphones eavesdropping on us? Or is there another explanation hidden beneath the surface of modern technology? To begin understanding this mystery, we must first consider how smartphones and apps are designed. Every modern phone comes with a microphone, and many apps, from messaging services to social platforms, request microphone access. On paper, these permissions are meant for features like voice messages, video calls, or hands-free assistants such as Siri, Google Assistant, or Alexa. But the suspicion arises when advertisements align too perfectly with conversations we have in private. For ordinary users, it's natural to wonder if the microphone is quietly active, recording details without consent. The companies behind these technologies, such as Apple, Google, and Facebook, have repeatedly denied using microphones to secretly record conversations for targeted ads. They claim that the practice would not only be unethical, but also technically inefficient. Recording billions of people 24/7 would create massive amounts of data, requiring enormous storage and processing power. In addition, constant recording would quickly drain a phone's battery. So, according to them, it doesn't make sense. But still, the stories from everyday users continue to surface, creating a sense of doubt. If the companies say it's not happening, then how do we explain these eerily accurate ads? The answer may lie in how powerful data collection has become. Even without listening to your actual words, your phone gathers an extraordinary amount of information. Every search you make, every website you visit, every like or follow on social media, all of it builds a profile about you. Your location data reveals the places you go, the shops you pass, the restaurants you visit. Your browsing history shows your interests, while your online purchases expose your buying habits. Combined with millions of other users' data, algorithms can predict with shocking accuracy what you might want next. So when an ad appears that matches something you were just talking about, it may not be because your phone was listening. It could simply be because the system already knew enough about you to guess. For example, imagine you were talking about taking a trip to Japan. Perhaps you had previously looked up sushi recipes, or maybe you watched a travel video about Tokyo. Your friend also searched for flights, and since you two are often in contact, the algorithm connects your interests. Without any microphone spying, the system already has enough context to show you ads for Japanese airlines or hotels. This predictive power can feel almost magical, but it's really the result of massive data networks that monitor digital footprints. However, some researchers argue that even if large-scale microphone spying is unlikely, the technology to listen in already exists. Apps with microphone access could, in theory, record short audio clips, analyze keywords, and use that data for ad targeting. While no company openly admits to doing this, there have been incidents where apps were caught secretly collecting audio data. In 2018, for instance, reports surfaced that some Android apps included software that could activate the microphone and analyze background sounds, supposedly for TV tracking purposes. This shows that while the practice may not be mainstream, it's technically possible, and in some cases, it has happened. The psychological factor plays a role too. Humans are very good at noticing patterns, but we often ignore countless other coincidences. If you talk about 10 topics with friends and only one of them later appears in an ad, that single event feels suspicious. You don't remember the 9 times when nothing happened, but you strongly recall the one time it did. This is called confirmation bias, and it reinforces the belief that phones must be listening. Our brains naturally search for explanations when something feels too precise to be random. So, what can you do if you're worried about privacy? First, check your app permissions. Many people grant microphone access without realizing it. On both iOS and Android, you can go into settings and restrict which apps are allowed to use the microphone. Secondly, be mindful of the data you share online. Every click, like, and search builds your profile, which fuels targeted advertising. Finally, remember that using digital technology always involves trade-offs. Convenience often comes at the cost of privacy, and the more services we rely on, the more data we inevitably give away. The larger question is not only whether our phones are listening, but whether we are comfortable with how much they already know about us. The advertising industry thrives on precision. The more data it gathers, the more money it makes. So while secret audio recording may not be the main tool, the reality is that surveillance has already become a normal part of everyday life. The line between coincidence and intention grows thinner each year, and the feeling of being watched is no longer paranoia. It is part of the digital age we live in. In the end, whether or not your phone is literally listening to your voice may not matter as much as you think. The truth is that data tracking has reached a point where it doesn't need to. Your actions, preferences, and digital behaviors are already speaking louder than your words. The real question we must ask ourselves is how much of our privacy are we willing to trade for the convenience of modern technology? Because in today's world, what we sacrifice quietly may be more valuable than we ever imagined. So, next time you see an ad that feels too perfectly timed, don't just wonder if your phone was listening. Ask yourself how much it already knows. And that, perhaps, is the scariest part of all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Wiseuse for more thought-provoking stories about the hidden side of everyday life. What do you think? Is it coincidence, advanced data, or is your phone truly eavesdropping on you? Let us know in the comments below.